Have you ever been on a backpacking trip with one of those big, beefy, old frame backpacks and just been in so much pain that you want to toss that thing off your shoulders and get the heck back in your car? Well, this is not that backpack. Today, we're talking about the Gregory Paragon and Maven series. The Paragon is the men's bag, the Maven is the women's bag. They're fairly similar across the board. You know, the Maven's just coming in with a slightly smaller volume, 50 versus 48. And this one, you know, these bags come in 50, 60, 70 liter variants. The women's are always just gonna be a little bit smaller due to the way that torso is cut, losing a little bit of volume in the pack. This right here is the Maven. Really love this color, so showcasing this one throughout the video, but I'm gonna use this Paragon here to take a look at the bag itself so we can just hop on in here and take a first look. So first things first, we're not gonna talk about any specs. I'm just gonna open this bag up and tell you exactly what I'm seeing, and then we can cut ahead in the future to talking more about specs, and you can see all that in the video timeline down here. So right now, first look if you just want to see what's in the pack. So right out the gate, you know, this is a nice beefy backpack. It's super lightweight in my hands. The Paragon 50 is coming in right at about 3.5 pounds. So this is a very light backpacking and traveling backpack. You know, you can comfortably fit up to 50 pounds of gear in here. And that's not just a number that Gregory is telling us or you, that is a number that I have put into this pack. Yes, I own this backpack as well as the Baltoro and the Zulu from Gregory and the Ether and the Atmos from Osprey. I have been backpacking for 20 plus years and own way more backpacks than I'm even proud to admit. So I consider myself an expert in uncomfortable and comfortable backpacks. And this is one that I have found to be almost potentially one of the top 5 most comfortable backpacking bags I've ever worn in my entire life. Something with the Gregory bags in general that I really dig is this free float suspension system here on the back. So, you know, a lot of bags have comfortable, beefy hip straps, but what Gregory has done with this bag and that free float suspension system is they've just created kind of a hip pad, hip belt here that moves and articulates with how your hips move anatomically. So, you know, it's got this kind of flex here that as you're walking down the trail, you know, we all have that gait where our hips move left to right a little bit, and this thing moves with you. It doesn't move against you, it doesn't stay tight, it's not super rigid, it moves with your hips. What does that do? It creates less potential for hot spots, less blisters, less uncomfortability on the hips and the shoulders, just because this bag moves where you move. So it's pretty simple at the end of the day. But Wayne Gregory, who started Gregory, the whole premise of his business was, I like to get outside and I want to be comfortable. How do we do that? So if you're getting any Gregory bags, just know they're gonna be comfortable. So yeah, on top of that free float suspension system, you know, we've got that nice Velcro back panel here so you can really get that fit dialed in specifically to your torso length. So when you're coming into Ridge and River or any of your local gear shops, definitely get that backpack fitted by somebody who knows what they're talking about. You wanna make sure that you get your torso length measured and that you get an accurate fit, or you could really be uncomfortable when you're out in the backcountry, and that's something you wanna get dialed in the store. So if you ever need help with a backpack fitting, hit us up. If you don't got a local shop, you know, I'll help you out. Hit us up on our Instagram, shoot us a message, we'll figure it out and ship you what you need, you know, we'll get you sorted. If you like being outside with a smile on your face and being happy, you should probably subscribe to our channel because that's what we like to do. If you like being sad and sitting at your desk in your office all day, you probably shouldn't subscribe. Super comfortable back panel, really good changeability, movability with the torso length and the hip belt. It's got that same extendable hip belt here in the front with the Velcro. So if you're a little bit skinnier, you can really tighten it. If you're a little bit wider, you can widen it. Really nice pockets here in the front, pretty big pockets that you can fit a lot of good stuff in there. About the size of 2 of my hands, so I can fully fit an iPhone in there, all my snacks, my map, a GPS device, whatever you want. But on that note, You can see here, they've also got this on-the-go pocket right here. That is something that Gregory has put into all of their backpacks in the last couple of years. And this pocket is specifically meant for that GPS device. They've got the sunglass loop here as well, and you could even just like throw an on-the-go bar in there if you're on a trail where you have service and you don't need a GPS device and you're just utilizing something like All Trails. So really functional shoulder straps as well. You know, it's not just comfortable, it's also functional. And then obviously on this pack, you've got those load adjusters. So this pack is just all about getting that fit dialed in anatomically, ergonomically to fit you right. Which is what I love about Gregory. Checking out the front here, we've got that stretch mesh pocket, which is always super useful for stowing away everything you want to be able to get at quickly. Rain shell, a fleece, a sun hoodie, a hat, a pair of sandals, camp shoes, whatever you want to get in and out of your bag quickly without getting into that top loading mechanism is always nice to have. But if you don't want to use that and you do want to throw it into the pocket in the middle, you've got a lot of ways to access that. So first, you can see here, you've got the side entry point, which gets you into your main compartment, and you've got the traditional backpacking top loading entry point, which gets you into the bag at the same time. So you know when you're packing this thing up, it is really helpful to have that side entry pocket as well as the top loading pocket to organize exactly where you want your stuff. And if you know, like, hey, my water filtration kit is right here, instead of like digging through it and unorganizing and messing all your stuff up, you can just open this up right here and know exactly where all your stuff is that you might need quick access to. So super useful to have that double entry point. And then this bag has 1, 2 stretch mesh water bottle pockets, as well as the capability to hold a 3-liter water bladder on the inside here. It's got that clip with the Gregory 3D Hydro kind of hook to hold their bladders a little bit more perfectly, to kind of lock right in there. So if you do get this Gregory backpack, it's probably best that you get that Gregory bladder as well. So super good feature, because that just creates a system that is built and purposefully driven to like get you where you gotta go and work together in a seamless function, which is nice. The inside of this backpack, super simple. Just one big open compartment, and then that flappy kind of nylon pocket in the back there for your water bottle, or for your water bladder, excuse me. And then back to the front, you know, we've got the nylon straps with the clips in the front where you can stow a sleeping pad or a tent. You've got the ice axe and trekking pole loops, and then you've got that third entry here at the bottom, you know, which is typically where people might put something like a sleeping bag, their sleep clothes, you know, at the bottom, just to keep your stuff separate and cleaner. You know, you've got this compartmentalization piece where with most backpacks nowadays, there's this little flap here that you can take on or off to have one big open pocket, or have one really small pocket for your sleep stuff, and then one big pocket at the top for all of your camp gear, your cookware, anything that you don't really care if it gets dirty. So super great to have that function as well. And then again, just tons of different gear loops, tons of straps, trekking pole feature, ice axe feature. This pack is coming in at that 3.5 pounds, so really lightweight, but you're not losing a single feature with this bag, which is really great. Also, something that's kind of cool is this top lid here can be completely removed, and then you are able to utilize that kind of like a summit bag or a fanny pack or a backpack if you're out on the trail and want to leave all your heavy stuff behind at camp and then go out for a little day jaunt or a little hike to the riverbed or something close to you, but don't want to worry about taking everything that you have. So, you know, again, all in all, super functional pack, really good at almost everything. I use this as my 3 to 4 day backpacking hiking bag. I use this as my week to month long Europe train hopping backpack bag, and I've used this to move between houses before. It's just a great kind of bag that acts like anything you need it to in different situations. So super versatile for everything. So now let's hop a little bit into the techie, nerdy side of stuff. You know, I talked about what the bag looks like and how I feel and what I see, but now I'll tell you what everything's called, and then we'll end it after that. So again, we talked about that free float suspension system, which is really important for that hip articulation, less resistance, less chafing, and more energy efficient for you on the trail. It's got that 3D cradle style hip belt as well, the air cushion mesh back panel, and the adjustable torso length. So again, just perfect dialed in fit with this backpack. Like I said, we've got the full length side zipper access, the stretch mesh side pockets, the oversized front mesh pocket, sleeping bag compartment with that removable divider we talked about, and the floating top lid, the on-the-go shoulder strap for the Garmin device or your sunglasses, and yep, a trekking pole loop attachment all in there. So it's all laid out to make this backpack fully intuitive, to get you to lay out your gear exactly how you want it, to make sure you have more fun hiking when you're doing your backpacking trips rather than just finding all of your gear and wasting your time. So super great just to get you outside, having fun, keep you on the trail, and keep you comfortable. This Paragon 50 comes in at 3.5 pounds, and the Maven comes in slightly less at about 3.3, 3.2 pounds. So not a ton of difference between the men's and the women's model. Just note, if you are looking at the Maven, for those ladies out there or guys that just have a little bit of a narrower build, this is gonna fit a little bit better if you have, you know, wider hips and you may have breasts or are cut a little bit narrower. This bag is just cut specifically for a woman's body. So again, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with a guy buying this backpack or a girl buying this backpack. If you have slightly broader shoulders and you have more of that kind of like wider cut body, maybe check out the Paragon. And if you have a little bit of a narrower cut to your build, check out the Maven. But again, that's why you go into your gear stores, to try these things on and talk to an expert. So very important. Bottom line, at the end of the day, you know, these backpacks are really for anyone. It's not just for your avid backpacker and hiker. It's for someone who wants all-day comfort, whether they're traveling through Europe or South America or Asia, train hopping, you know, whatever you're getting into, or someone that is pushing, you know, 15, 20, 30 miles a day on a backpacking trip, but can also be for that casual weekend warrior hopping on a 5-10 mile trail and doing it over 3 days just to be able to check out different campsites and relax outside. So if you're getting ready for a long through hike, a little loop trail, or even some nice weekend treks, the Paragon and Maven are probably a pretty dang good backpack for you to check out. So if you're interested in either one of these bags or anything else in our backpacking lineup, you can head over to our website at ridgeandriver.com and use that code YouTube10 for 10% off anything on our website. Gear is expensive, let's save you some money. Sounds good, fair trade. And if you like this video, make sure you like it, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button. That comment, like, and subscribe are really important to us and help boost things back up in the algorithm and let us keep having fun here on our job. So we really appreciate you for doing that. Other than that, stay safe on the trails. Hope to see you out there. Later.